Hey guys, what's up? It's Kendall again, and welcome back to Tarot Tuesdays. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Kendall. I make these videos every single Tuesday going through the entire tarot deck. Today we are going to be going over the Four of Pentacles. Let's get into it. Four of Pentacles. We all know the card. We have this man, he's sitting on a stool or a chair, and he has the Four of Pentacles, right? He has two under his feet. He's kind of clutching one into his body, and then he has one on his head. As we look at this, my first initial thought is, holy crap, he's holding those pentacles so freaking close to him. No one is going to be able to touch these pentacles, but guess what? He can't move either. So he's stuck where he needs to be because he's protecting those pentacles, holding them so freaking close to him. Okay, that's the main topic of this card. One thing you might be thinking is, money doesn't always buy you happiness or freedom. Let's get into the general reading of this card. So the Four of Pentacles, generally in a card pull, this is both the positive and negative perspectives. This is about our goals and finances. We're in the Pentacles, so goals, finances, career. This typically is kind of the theme of the Pentacles. On one hand, you've been successful. You've gotten your goals. You succeeded. You got the Four of Pentacles. I'm sure you had to sacrifice some things in order to get to those goals, in order to be successful, whatever that looks like in your life. But on the other hand, there's a chance that you might start valuing the wrong things in your life. Now you might be becoming materialistic even. Working this hard to get to something or something you've been working towards, whatever success looks like for you, it is natural to desire to want to stay in that place, to be stable in the success. Be very careful because staying in your success can make you a very greedy person. It leaves you wanting more. And chances are, because you work so hard, no one is going to take it away from you. So we have this theme of like possessiveness going on. Be very aware that without risk, there's no reward. If you spend too much of your time conserving what you got or what you have and you're holding on to a little too tightly, you most likely will become a prisoner to what you're holding on to. Wealth and this success is an energy we like to hold on to because it feels good, and that's okay. But make sure you still are leaving room for you to have freedom and you don't become a prisoner to those successes or to the finances. Let's talk about what the Four of Pentacles means in a love reading. When we pull the Four of Pentacles, you may be starting to think or feel or start acting a little possessive. There might be jealousy there. There might be just holding someone on a tight chain, if you will. It almost feels suffocating at times. When we're in a relationship or situationship like this can be a very rocky road. If one of you is holding on to the other a little too tightly, that's when we can start seeing some toxic traits come through, or just the overall happiness of the relationship starting to decline. This may be a sign that there might be some insecurities lying within the relationship, and this always takes time to explore. This is the time you take to self-reflect why you may be being possessive or jealous or just a little bit like too much sometimes, okay? And yeah, you're never too much, but sometimes you can be holding on to someone too much. If you're single and you're pulling this in a love reading, this can mean that you're holding on to the past a little bit too tight. Either you're holding on to a person too tight, you're holding on to a situation too tight. Whatever that looks like for you, loosen up a little bit, okay? Work through it, know where your insecurities are coming from. Wonder why you're holding on to something a little too tightly. These things need to be resolved before you move forward in finding the love of your life. Let's talk about what the Four of Pentacles means in a career reading. In a career reading, when we pull the Four of Pentacles, we probably feel really stable in our career right now. Whatever you've been working for or achieved recently, it's made you feel stable. If you feel unstable right now, it could just mean you're feeling a bit insecure about where you are in your career or your job right now. This can make you feel very guarded, like you see with the man holding his pentacles. You may be guarded off, uneasy about things, maybe even a little paranoid about things. This can do more harm than good if you let it continue on. If you stay that man that's just holding on tight for dear life, not loosening up at all, that's going to be a rocky road for you moving forward. It can lead to you feeling a little closed off or just finding it difficult to work in collaborations with your team or just other people, your coworkers, even your managers. You just are a little closed off to the idea of working together. Or you just feel really protective over your own ideas. Maybe someone's taken an idea from you before and ran with it and they got the success for it and you don't want that to happen again. Totally valid. Those things do happen within the workplace, unfortunately, but it's really important for you that if something like this has happened, or maybe you do have an idea you want to present to your boss, have clear communication about what your expectations are following that idea. Be very, very clear about your expectations within the career field. Lastly, let's talk about the Four of Pentacles in a financial read. You recently maybe came across a little bit of financial success. Congratulations. If you're used to struggling, you may be thinking a lot about your money right now, which is totally valid as well, because you've worked so hard, you've seen what it's like to struggle, and now you're getting a little bit of a breath with your finances. You don't want to lose it because you know how bad it can be, and you're holding on tight to keep this stability here. You might even start to feel yourself starting to be a little frugal when it comes to spending your money on things, or just being kind of cheap. Another word for frugal. This can just suggest that maybe instead of being so strict with ourselves, if there's something big that you're looking for in your finances, try to plan that out and set aside money. The money that you just came into, it's really important to not let it control you. So if you're looking for a house or a car, maybe it's just even a retirement fund. This card is kind of suggesting that you loosen up a little bit. Don't be too frugal. Know that the money is there, but set aside for those bigger item things that you're working for. Remember how we worked through a budget the last few Pentacle cards? This is really it's going to test you, okay? So you've now come into money. You've now come into finances. Now's the time to save it and set it aside. It feels really good to be stable. So definitely use it where you need to be using it, but don't be too cheap and kind of buy little tiny things that you don't necessarily need, but save for the bigger things coming for you in the future. That is going to wrap up the Four of Pentacles card, you guys. I'm so happy you chose to learn with me today. If you end up pulling the Four of Pentacles in reverse, typically in my readings, I like to view that as you coming out of that feeling of the Four of Pentacles. You're becoming more generous with money. You're kind of loosening up. You're letting go of jealousy in relationships. You're not afraid to spend money. So anytime I pull a card in reverse, I know I don't touch the reversals much on my Tarot Tuesdays, but usually for me, it's up to interpretation, of course, by the reader. But for me personally, that in reverse is coming out of that feeling of how the card is perceived when it's upright. Does that make sense? I hope you enjoyed today's video, learning about the Four of Pentacles with me. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another Tarot Tuesday with me. And that's going to do it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Love ya.